and the omnibus. So I was forced into the Archers when I was a child. And look, it's come back to bite me later on. I'm awash with this stuff.
The Archers is the world's longest-running radio show, with more than 15,000 episodes broadcast. Despite being a rural flavour show, The Archers is recorded in the heart of...
Welcome back to the Deep Dive. This week, our source material gives us this really fascinating window into community life. The stakes are, well, they're simultaneously monumental and just utterly mundane.
Right.
We've got a blend of major personal dilemmas, urgent logistical challenges, and some really surprising social dynamics.
And just enough tech headaches to, keep it real.
Exactly.
It's a study in contrasts, really. Our documents show how these sort of localized individual crises...
Like a job threat or a broken heater.
Precisely. They often require this massive, large-scale resilience and community intervention to actually solve. So our mission today is to pull out the key nuggets that don't just describe what happened, but explain why it all matters.
Highlighting that kind of hidden infrastructure of kindness and support that keeps a place afloat.
Exactly.
And we jump right in, don't we? Straight into the heart of the chaos, starting with Paul being severely ill.
He's not just sick. The sources say he's elevating feeling bad to an art form.
Huh. Yeah, looking like a member of the Walking Dead. It's an immediate, really intense picture of physical distress.
Yeah, and what struck me wasn't just the illness itself, but the whole atmosphere around it. You've got Josh and Lily struggling with a jigsaw puzzle.
Looks like C to me.
Right. It's just this state of just suspended animation, boredom, minor frustration. It all just dials up the tension.
And then there's Nathan Booth just casually spreading rumors that Paul has Ebola as a joke.
As a joke. That kind of casual cruelty, even if it's meant as humor, it just underscores how quickly illness can change how people see you.
It's a very human reaction, isn't it? Gossip is filling the void.
It is. The personal distress is immediately complicated by all this external noise. But that physical discomfort, as bad as it is, it quickly pales in comparison to the professional catastrophe that lands right on Paul's plate.
Okay, let's unpack this. The real drama here isn't a virus.
Yeah.
It's his job threat, delivered during his appraisal, and he was completely blindsided. Alistair, his boss, he just told him plainly, pass your driving test or you fired.
And the big bosses are on the case now. The pressure is on.
It's an almost perfect storm, isn't it? You've got professional expectation crashing right into deep personal anxiety.
It is. And Paul just sort of assumed that being a non-driver was manageable. It was never a problem at his old practice in Reading.
Right, that was all small animals, very local.
Exactly. But the Loveful James job, it requires wider mobility. And suddenly, this lack of a license has become a liability they are just not willing to tolerate anymore.
So I have to ask, is it fair? I mean, leveraging his entire job against something that is so clearly tied to a psychological phobia. He's a competent vet.
Well, that's the core tension, isn't it? And it raises this huge question about, professional accommodation versus an absolute requirement.
But didn't he promise he'd get it?
He did. He blurted out he'd get his license during his interview. It was an irresponsible promise he couldn't keep. But now management is enforcing this incredibly hard line.
So a simple driving license becomes this huge, high-stakes psychological test.
For Paul, it's way more than an inconvenience. He describes his anxiety about it as, what was the phrase?
Jumbo economy size with added bonus extras.
That's it. It just gives him the heebie-jeebies.
And we know why. The sources detail this monumental history of failure.
7
failed tests. And the number itself carries this enormous weight, but the reasons they list, they're just incredible. It shows a complete loss of composure.
It's far beyond just standard driving errors. It's proof that his trauma just completely overrides his physical skills. I mean, think about the specific...
Driving the wrong way around a mini roundabout.
Right, or driving with his full beams on during the test. And the best one, parking on double yellow lines at the very end of a test he thought he'd passed.
Pain. But my favorite, it has to be the aggressive reaction.
The pedestrian?
Calling a pedestrian a tosser because they walked out in front of him. You can almost feel the stress just radiating off the page.
Exactly. That quote, it isn't just darkly funny. It's a vital indicator of his mental state. This is a highly competent professional. But the moment you put him in this high anxiety, low control environment,
he loses all composure.
All of it. The source even notes that by the end of his other attempts, he barely knew how the gears worked. It's just a terrifying gap between his stable professional identity and his unaddressed trauma.
And you see the community struggling to help, right? Lily, bless her heart, offers to give him lessons.
Before immediately remembering she's off to Australia.
Right. The support is there, but the solution isn't logistical, it's psychological. He has to solve this catastrophic internal problem all by himself.
And while Paul is stuck in that, that mental loop of catastrophe, the rest of the community is dealing with these very tangible, very solvable problems. Which is our natural transition, I think, to the logistical side of things.
Yes, moving from the psychological blockages to the everyday ones. Right there in Paul's house, on top of his illness, the Wi-Fi has failed.
Oh, the classic digital crisis message. Error. No network connection.
And the immediate consequence, missing the Champions League match. Real Madrid versus Man City.
It's a great piece of detail. It just grounds the whole narrative. This tiny technical failure, it feels monumental to someone who's ill and tired, even while someone else points out, they still have 5G.
The convenience is there, but the capacity to act just isn't.
Meanwhile, at the clinic, they're dealing with much more serious logistical breakdowns.
Although Lottie and Ezra have managed to solve one big headache, the heating is getting back to normal sooner than expected.
Right, closer to Friday. And that was thanks to those borrowed heaters from Brookfield Farm.
That small detail is actually pretty crucial, isn't it?
It's huge. It's the first example we see of a real community-level fix for an immediate welfare problem. But just as one logistical problem gets solved,
the professional supply chain breaks.
Raymond, the pharmacy delivery guy, he's fallen ill.
And this isn't just a small disruption. The clinic is, what's the phrase, scratching around for a replacement.
Yeah, and there's a critical barrier. The job absolutely requires someone who is DBS checked.
So that certification turns a simple temp job into a serious supply crisis.
This is where the local network just checked. It really shines. Ezra immediately realizes that Akram is DBS checked.
From his work at
Introducing the Archer's Mug, where elegance meets everyday comfort. Crafted from premium white ceramic, designed with vibrant peekaboo colors inside, simple, modern, and stylish. Start your day the Archer's way, with warmth, familiarity, and the comfort of voices you've come to love. As the stories unfold on the Archers, let this mug become part of your daily ritual, a small reminder of life in Ambridge. Practical for every home, dishwasher and microwave safe. Available in 2 sizes, 11 ounces and 15 ounces, designed to fit your lifestyle. Enjoy your favorite drink in a mug that connects you to Britain's most beloved countryside story, The Archers. For more information, and to order your very own The Archers mug, follow the link below and make it part of your daily routine.
Borchester Green School.
Yep, so even though he might be a bit overqualified for pharmacy deliveries, he likes to keep busy. The community network is instantly activated to plug this essential, certified logistical gap.
I love that. It's neighbors serving as HR solutions.
Exactly.
And we also see a really nice moment of positive workplace culture here too, which feels important before things take a sharp turn.
Absolutely. We see Lottie praising Ezra as the best boss she's ever had.
Yeah, she thanks her for advice about Maddie's fussy eating. She just relaxed, didn't make a big deal of it, and it worked.
It's this beautiful moment of mentorship and affirmation. It's just a really functional, supported work environment.
So if we pull this all together, you've got Brookfield Farm lending heaters, Akram stepping in for certified deliveries.
These are all examples of practical, tangible community support. They're instantly solving technical, logistical, and domestic gaps. When the need is physical or procedural, the solutions are fast, efficient, and available through neighborly connections.
But that's not all that's going on, is it?
No, because not all social interactions in this community are based on material support. Now we have to move into the much more complicated territory of social dynamics.
We shift focus back to Lottie. And she's involved in this deeply uncomfortable encounter with a man named Lawrence Harrington.
And Alan Franks, who's waiting nearby, he immediately clocks Harrington's inappropriate manner.
This is a powerful moment. It shows a witness who is actually willing to intervene.
He confronts the situation directly. He steps up and asks Lottie if Harrington's attitude was, and these are his words, because of your color.
And Lottie's response, it's just incredibly heavy. She doesn't have to elaborate at all.
She says, "Welcome to my world." That one phrase, it just acts like a sudden, sharp intake of breath in the sources. It instantly encapsulates this daily, grinding reality of microaggression.
And it contrasts so severely with the supportive best boss environment she was just in.
It's a stark, immediate reminder. Logistical support systems can be strong, but these underlying social tensions and prejudices, they persist daily.
And that one phrase just tells a complete story. Yet, what's so fascinating is that the source material immediately pivots to show another, radically different facet of Alan Frank's community involvement.
Right. Franks is actually there for a health check. He's running late for a 4.30 with Dr. Malik feeling tired, missed his routine check at 60.
And we get these very granular detail, 178 height, 78 kilos.
Yeah.
But the conversation quickly moves from his health to his commitment to interfaith community building.
Specifically with Azra, he brings up the structural issues facing the Felpham Interfaith Network and specifically the mosque.
And the detail here is so important for understanding the scale of the problem.
Yeah, the facility isn't some grand traditional building. It's a terrace house. It serves, what, a couple of dozen worshipers?
But the issue is severe. It needs re-roofing, which means the congregation will have to travel all the way to Birmingham for Jamaat.
For their Friday prayers. And that is not a quick hop. That is a huge disruption to their spiritual life.
So what does this incident reveal? Well, Franks, the same man who just defended Lottie, makes what the source calls an astonishing offer.
He suggests relocating Juma to Ambridge Village Hall.
And he goes even further, offering something even more personal.
He does. Space in his own church for Azra's family's regular prayers.
Which would save them that substantial trek to Birmingham. It transcends mere logistics.
Yeah.
This providing fundamental spiritual and emotional infrastructure right across faith lines.
And Azra's reaction just underscores the significance of it all. She is touched.
Right. She believes her own husband will find the offer quite astonishing.
It's an act of profound interfaith kindness that stands in this complete, beautiful opposition to the casual prejudice Lottie faces. It shows that both the best and worst of human interaction can coexist in the very same space.
Within minutes of each other.
It's an act of tension.
Okay, let's wind down with the relationship anxiety that's been humming under the surface this whole time. We go back to Josh and Nina.
Josh is still just intensely focused on trying to maintain that connection. We see him messaging her around 1 p.m., then trying to call.
And the call goes straight to voicemail.
Mm-hmm.
But Josh is still deep in this well of optimism, of rationalization. He thinks the voicemail isn't about distance, it's about productivity.
Right. She must be busy with the get-in sound check or maybe just getting in the zone for her gig.
He keeps his focus entirely on their planned catch-up tomorrow, just completely ignoring the immediate signs of disconnection.
It's classic motivated reasoning. He's using these positive professional assumptions to fill a silence that, others are interpreting far more darkly.
And Lily and Paul, observing from the sidelines, they offer that brutal counterpoint. They just call the situation sad.
And their summary is it's cutting. Nothing's changed, has it? Apart from hope.
Wow. That's harsh, but maybe accurate. And the irony is just magnified when we see his financial investment.
Despite the clear distance, the distraction from her end, Josh confirms he is still thinking of funding her next album.
The financial stake becomes a proxy for his emotional one.
Well, he really does. He's pouring literal resources, money, into a venture that seems increasingly unstable while the actual, human connection remains so tenuous. He's prioritizing the art over the bond. It's a very modern, almost tragic allocation of energy.
So to synthesize this entire picture, we've seen how an internal personal phobia can trigger a professional crisis. We've seen how resilient community networks are at solving immediate, tangible problems.
Delivering medicine, providing temporary housing for prayer.
But most strikingly, we've seen this profound, immediate generosity contrasted so sharply with deep-seated emotional distance and lingering prejudice.
That contrast is the story. The community can fix a broken roof, it can replace a sick delivery driver, it can fight injustice, all in a single afternoon. Yet the sources show us that the most fundamental interior and relational problems, Paul's phobia, Josh's failing connection with Nina, they remain completely untouched, festering.
So here is the final provocative thought for you to carry forward from this deep dive. When physical distances are shrinking, we have 5G everywhere, logistics are solved by neighbors offering up village halls for prayer, people are lending heaters without a second thought. Why do the most foundational emotional connections, the ones that require vulnerability instead of resources, why do they feel the hardest to bridge? What does the willingness to help a community member find a new roof or deliver certified medicine versus the inability to connect with a partner or to overcome a personal past trauma? What does that tell us about where people focus their energy and their resources today?
So what are you doing now?
Just getting ready for the next episode. Just
And,
moving mics around.
So what do you do?
I do the spot effects on the arches. Any
Are you what we
movements
call Foley then?
and- kind of. Yep.
Okay. And these are all part of the paraphernalia of production.
Yep. That's the ball bar. That's.
This one.
Yep. That's.
Haley so wanted to be in their own place when their baby came. It's due in 2 months. Not much chance of that now. No. I mean, it would have been a stretch for them financially, mind, but I just wish there was something practical I could do to help them, Caroline.
I think the Archers has had this immense popularity over the years, basically because it has always very accurately reflected the reality of life and living in a rural community at whatever